Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nayaswami Padma, and I'm here today to bring you an excerpt from the original teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. Today, I'm still reading from Swami Kriyananda's autobiography, The New Path, from the years when he lived with Yogananda, and I have a brief excerpt for our discussion. I have often said, the Master concluded, that out of the loss of the Encinitas temple came two more temples, this one in Hollywood and the one in San Diego. Just the other day, a visitor remarked to me, "What a pity you lost the Encinitas temple." I answered, "It was the best thing that ever happened to me. You see, it forced me to come out more into the world with these teachings. And look, even the carpet in the new church came from from the very carpet of the old one." I love this, again, this attitude and illustration, because that is what we're talking about here, our attitudes, the spirit with which to look at life. And in this case, what Yogananda is showing is that spirit of seeing the divine hand in absolutely everything. And even in the worst of situations, for instance, losing the beautiful jewel-like temple that he had built in Encinitas on the Hermitage grounds there, overlooking the ocean. It fell into the ocean. It slid into the ocean. Imagine what a shock that must have been for everyone. Thankfully, no individuals were hurt in that process. But the point was, it would have been easy to be downcast and, oh, it's just not meant to be, and to interpret things with the cup half empty, just thinking about how, life has just dealt us a blow, rather than understanding that even in the most complicated and challenging situations, the divine hand is always there. One way or another, the divine promise for each and every one of us is self-realization, is liberation, freedom in spirit, self-realization. That is a promise for all of us. And no matter how bleak things may appear, and sometimes they're just horrendously bleak in the lives of many people, way too many people in this world. But somehow, bit by bit, if we look for the divine hand, I was born in a non-religious Jewish family, and most of my father's family had been killed during World War II in the concentration camps. And I grew up with some horrible stories from the times of my relatives in those camps. And I would always shudder, and I just avoided those kinds of conversations. And then years later, when I found Yogananda's teachings and I came onto the spiritual path, I also learned about a few exceptional souls who went through those very dark times, but somehow were able to remain untouched by them, even in the midst of the horrors of the concentration camps, because they were always helping others and kept their consciousness uplifted through it all, in prayer, in, well, all the ways that we can keep ourselves inspired. It's an inside job, regardless of, as I said, the horrors that are going on around us. And after that time, I was able then to read about those kinds of people, and it gave me hope and an understanding and a realization how challenging it is to be able to keep our hearts and minds uplifted, but also how essential it is to do so. And so Yogananda illustrates in this little paragraph that, yes, the beautiful temple fell into the ocean off the cliff, but you know what? 2 more beautiful temples came as a result of it, and even the carpet from the old temple, or from the same bolt of carpet as that old temple, was now living on in the new temple. So always looking for the divine hand in everything. And we find that when we follow that thread, that the beauty of the test, the challenge of the test, helped us to lift our energy into higher consciousness. And we are, in the end, blessed. Joy to you, and we'll see you again next week on Tuesday. Bye-bye now.